Shabbat Shalom, everybody. I am wondering if there is a board member beside me who would like to give a welcome tonight. If not, I'm already doing a welcome next, so I'm happy to just roll them both together. All right. Welcome, everybody, on behalf of both the lay-led leadership of the synagogue and also our board of directors. I am so excited to be welcoming in Shabbat, not only with you all, but with Emmett, with Iran, with those of you joining us online. Thank you for being here. This last Sunday, we entered a new moon, which is the new moon of Elul, which is our month of preparation leading up to the high holidays. And that means a lot of things, but for the purposes of our service, it means at least two things. The first is that we're using a different Siddur prayer book. There are a few still up on this chair. If you are a person who needs that front row, please help yourself. If you have the normal Shabbat Siddur, it still has most of the same prayers. I just won't be calling the right numbers for the most part, so choose your own adventure. The other thing that being an Elul means is that we are called to hear the blast of the shofar in this month. And we take that as a little bit more gentle of an obligation, which is to say, if anybody here wants to blast shofar, we have one in the ark, and you are welcome to do that now. Any takers? Yeah, he can. He may not wish to. Oh, Andy's willing? All right. Let's get this up, and I will do a cute little reading while you're making your way up and getting comfortable, and then we will rise.
What key, Andy?
Oh, one moment, please, sir, and thank you. I think all we're doing is the big long one for this.
You gotta sing the shofar blast song, and it'll tell you.
Thank you. Let's look for a cute little thing. Cry from the depths, says God. Do not hold back. Lift up your voice like the shofar. If people would please rise to hear the shofar blast. Tekiah. Yasher koach. Thank you. You may all be seated. Thank you to Andy for helping us observe that very special once a year, only this month, mitzvah. With that, we are now going to continue into Kabbalat Shabbat, actually welcoming in Shabbat, and I would love to have Lucy and Christina please lead us in the candle lighting. You can find that blessing on page 10.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu Lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Thank you both. Did you still want to talk about Ya'alo Sidai before we... Oh, Kiddush first. Getting ahead of myself. Shabbat is a great joy, and we celebrate it every week, and there are some joys that are less than weekly, and I would be delighted to know if anybody has a simcha that they are celebrating this week that we can share in before we make Kiddush. Simchas, anybody? Starting new journeys in high school. Congratulations, Emmett. Yasher koach. Any others? All right.
Emmett is here with us.
Emmett is here with us despite having started high school this week.
This Simcha session is all about
Me-
Emmett.
I'm all for that, and
Yeah.
making beautiful music with us, for which we are so grateful. You can find the words for Kiddush on page 12, and I invite you to join me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav ורצה בנו, ושבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו, זיכרון למעשה בראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקרא קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. L'chaim.
Chaim.
Now, is there anything that you want to say about
No,
Ya'alon
this was
Sedai?
actually from Tu B'Shvat.
All right, great. Then we will instead just say that we like to sing psalms to bring in Shabbat, and we're going to do that with the words on like the middle of page 14 of Ya'alon Sedai. We turn now to page 22 for Lecha Dodi. We are singing all of the verses on the page, which are 1, 2, 5, and 9, but it just looks like 1, 2, 3, and 4 on this page. And when we get to that final verse, you are invited to rise in body and or spirit and welcome in our Shabbat bride, who in this case is Harmony.
לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקדש
שמור וזכור.
שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד. אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי. לך דודי לקראת כלה, כן שבת לקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה. מראש מקדם נשוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת לקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי. אורי, אורי, שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת לקבלה. בואי ושלום, עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה. תוך אמונה עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת לקבלה. לך דודי, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת
I'm going to do a brief reading before the Baruch, so your choice if you want to sit down and stand back up in 30 seconds or just stay standing. Before we slip too quickly into the season of the soul, let there be a Sabbath of Sabbaths for the heart. Before the music of creation's majesty, let there be a silent praise of existence. Before the feast of sanctified words, let there be a poetry of solitude. Before we enter the palaces of prayer, let us find within ourselves a place of calm. Before we revel in the wondrous and sublime, let there be an honest inward gaze. Before the rituals and ceremonies of awe, let there be quieter days, an island of attentiveness. You can find Baruch on page 26, thank you. Makes a lot more sense.
Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai lai lai. Yai lai lai lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai lai lai. Yai lai lai lai. Yai lai 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 lai.
Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach Leolam Vaed. HaMevorach HaMevorach Leolam Vaed. You may be seated. Next, we turn our focus to the wonders of nature, and perhaps specifically in the Ma'ariv Aravim prayer, the fact that the wonders of nature change, that the Eternal mixes the day into night and night into day, and both creates and defies boundaries, animating an ever-changing world. You can find the words kind of for this on page 28, although we will be doing some creative English as well.
Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Boreyam v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, golel or mipnei choshech, lechoshech mipnei or. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Baruch atah Adonai HaMa'ariv Aravim.
This is the path of wisdom. How beautiful to dwell together in unity. This is the teaching of truth. Have we not all one parent? Did not one God create us? This is the call from Sinai, that there shall be one law for the citizen and the stranger in your midst. This is the gift of Torah. Adonai is our God. Adonai is one. You can find the words of Shema on 32 and 33, and then we will continue with the next page for Ve'ahavta.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu
שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו, לעולם ועד.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. Having reminded ourselves of God's oneness and our obligations to God, we remember, as the closing lines of Ve'ahavta remind us, God brought us out of Egypt to be our God. And we celebrate that most every prayer service with the words of Mi Chamocha, which we can find on page 40.
Freedom, 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 freedom. מי כמוך באלים, אדוני. מי כמוך נהדר בקודש. Sing freedom, 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 oh freedom, 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 oh freedom. מי כמוך. באלים, אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש. Sing freedom, 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 freedom.
And it's a good thing that we have a big, strong God, because Gosh, the world is scary and full of danger. And we see our next prayer as a little bit of like a mini, or I see it at least, of a like mini high holidays. In the high holidays at Yom Kippur, we're asking, please give us another year of life, renew us for another year. And in Hashkivenu, we're saying, please let us lie down and wake up to another day. Keep us safe through this night. Wake us up to life renewed. And when we wake up, our first prayer is Modet Anil. Oh my God, thank you. I'm so grateful to get another day. Just like at the high holidays, we're so grateful to see another year. May we all merit to lie down in peace and wake up to life anew. The words for Hashkivenu are on page 42. Having warmed up, I am very warmed up, we turn to our standing prayer and rise as able in body or spirit, starting with the words on page 48 and then continuing to flip through for quite some time.
Adonai sfatai tiftach, Adonai sfatai tiftach, ufi ya'id tehilatecha, ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai sfatai tiftach, Adonai sfatai tiftach, ufi yagid tehilatecha, ufi yagid tehilatecha.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומשיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם, עזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מחלקל חיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים. ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך הסלע. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. We now turn for moments of silent prayer. It is a new prayer book, so there are different words on the page if those speak to you. And it's also a great time for prayers of the heart. And you may be seated when you are ready. The words for Yehu Liratzon are on page 74. I invite you to join us.
יהיו לרצון עם Adonai tzuri ve'goali. Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri ve'goali. Hiyu leratzon imrefi, ve'gion libi lefanecha. Hiyu leratzon imrefi, ve'gion libi lefanecha.
We don't ask for very much on Shabbat. In fact, we say that we ask for basically nothing. But it is a minhag to ask for healing for those who need it. We think of all those who are impacted by war around the world. We think of the hostages. We think of all who are in need of healing of mind, body, and spirit. As a community this week, we are particularly praying for Jacqueline Tara Smith, Deborah Rose, Eileen Kreisman, Ronnie Haber, Ellen Gottlieb, Vanessa Bianco, Paul McCready, Glenn Letts, Carl Wilhite, Cindy Balin, Patty Newby, Joe Giordano, Janine Morris, Ron Louie, Sally Wildeson, Marnie Good, Sylvia Angel, Marion Laird, Sheldon Robert, William Stangler, Lisa Bush, Patricia Barber, Kyle Asadorian, Paul Norris, Stephen Thrasher, Laura Halper, Bob Cook, Tora Knapp, Jason Getler, John Huttenhoss, Nina Schechter, Amanda Young, Jessica Abbott, Susie Denmark, Caleb Chesner, Phil Gerson, Wyatt Curcio-Lanner, Tom Anderson. If there are names I've mispronounced, names you want to add, or names you want to add in the chat, please share them now. We think of them all as we turn to the words on page 76, Mishaberach, a prayer for healing. They're not exactly those words, but it's one of our most common prayers. You probably know them. "77 at the bottom, that's where they are.
Mishaberach Avoteinu Mekor habracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Yisheberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
If you two want to sit for a bit, you can. And also, if you just wanted to sit here and play for the next 15 minutes, like I'd be fine with that
Do you
being
want
what
some
happens.
background to your Josh?
I don't know that that's the most appropriate for this one, but I am down to try it. Oh boy, here we go. This week in Parshat Shoftim, Moses is continuing his sort of final exhortation to the Israelites. And he's talking a lot about what it means to make a just society. And one of the things that you have in a just society is judges, which leads us to some of my favorite examples of why it's really scary when people say they believe the words on the page without any interpretation, because Deuteronomy 17, 8 through 11 says, if a case is too baffling for you to decide, be it a controversy over homicide, civil law, or assault, matters of dispute in your courts, you shall promptly repair to the place that your God Adonai will have chosen and appear before the Levitical priests or the magistrate, which in this case is a human-appointed judge, in charge at the time, and present your problem. When they have announced to you the verdict in the case, you shall carry out the verdict that is announced to you from that place that Adonai chose, observing scrupulously all their instructions to you. You shall act in accordance with the instructions given you and the rulings handed down to you. You must not deviate from the verdict that they announce, either to the right or the left. Should either party act presumptuously and disregard the priest charged with serving you, or the magistrate, that party shall die. And it's comforting to me to know that throughout our tradition, the rabbis and sages have grappled with what it means to listen to somebody else's judgment and not deviate either to the right or the left. In fact, the Ramban doubles down on that, saying that even if your own moral intuition says, for example, that a person did not murder someone, if the judge says they're guilty, you take the judge's word. And that's troubling. And modern Jews, I don't think, need a reminder that following orders does not absolve us of complicity. And so that brings up this weird question of how do you navigate the gaps between being told to listen to judges and having responsibility and accountable for the choices that we make. And over again, what our tradition tells us is that you listen to the things that are at the heart of Torah. You listen to things like love the stranger. You listen to things like choose life. And earlier in this portion, in Deuteronomy 16:20, we have one of the hallmarks of Judaism that sort of trumps a lot of other things, in the sense of if it's in conflict with others, you choose this one. And Deuteronomy 16:20 is, justice, justice shall you pursue, that you may thrive and occupy the land that your God is giving to you. Tzedek, tzedek, tirdof is justice, justice you shall pursue. And when I was reading up on that, I came across a mention that Rabbi Nelson Gluck says it's the heart of Reform Judaism. And that name caught my attention. Nelson Gluck is a rabbi. And he sounded familiar because last week I had the privilege of touring the American Jewish Archives in Cincinnati. And in the front of the American Jewish Archives, there is a exhibition about Sally Priesand, the first rabbi that HUC ordained who is a woman. And he comes up in the conversation about Sally Priesand joining HUC, and it's not a good conversation as a whole. She had to work very hard. They were not willing, generally, to let women be rabbis at the time, and this was a very special case. In her letters that are part of this exhibit, she talks about people walking up to her at school functions and saying women shouldn't be rabbis. And she says, another bit of hope was, of course, the fact that Rabbi Nelson Gluck, at that time president of Hebrew Union College Jewish Institute of Religion, wanted to ordain a woman. When I arrived on the scene, I guess he paid special attention, Sally says. He followed my progress. He took care of a lot of little problems in the background that I never even heard about. And I remember that whenever the Board of Governors was in town, he made certain to call me out of class and say, give a prayer for the Board of Governors. No preparation or anything, just give a prayer. At any rate, when the Board of Governors was there, Dr. Glick made certain that I would do the service, and the Board of Governors would see me and come to understand that there was going to be a woman rabbi. Speaking of herself, she says, when I decided to study for the rabbinate, I never thought much of being a pioneer, nor was it my intention to champion the rights of women. I just wanted to be a rabbi. but many, many women rabbis who have since been ordained through HUC can tell you that she opened doors not just for herself, but for all who might follow after. Reflecting on those two roles, the role of Rabbi Glick in championing justice and the role of Rabbi Prezand in pursuing justice for herself, brings me back to that doubling of the word justice. Justice, justice, you shall pursue. Tzedek, tzedek, tirdof. And we have this theory about the Bible that there's no wasted words. If a word is in there twice, there must be a meaning. And so, of course, the rabbis have a field day with tzedek, tzedek, tirdof. They think, is it saying that, like, it's an intensifier, so you shouldn't just, like, pursue doing good. You should pursue justice, ultimate justice. Or is it making it justice the ultimate thing? You should ultimately pursue justice more than anything else. And I wonder if it's also a reminder that we need to seek out multiple kinds of justice. That it isn't enough to look for justice for ourselves, but to seek how we can aid bringing justice to others. This week, I had the privilege of hearing an incredible example of that in our own community, as people shared stories of Rabbi Arlene Schuster, Zikrona Livracha, who both refused to accept injustice directed at her and refused to be idle when she saw a chance to help make the world more just for others. I'm very grateful for the people in our tradition who have shown us what it looks like to choose the just thing even when it is not the thing that an institution or a law says is legal. I'm very grateful for our tradition for having a long and incredible history of standing up for what is right. Speaking in Chicago earlier this week, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker said, as Dr. King once said, "The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. Humbly," he says, "I would add it doesn't bend on its own. History tells us we often have to apply force needed to make sure that the arc gets where it needs to go." So on this Shabbat, as we consider the words tzedek, tzedek, tirdof, may we know that justice for ourselves is important and imperative, and may we work also to make sure that it is not just for ourselves, but for all. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Yasher koach.
I think that this Machzor does not have our normal Aleinu. So I think that we are doing the one on the bottom of page 79, but I would love to consult with my fellow prayer leader for a moment. Does this seem good? Want to do that? Yeah, you want to do that? All right, we're going to do the Aleinu that is on the bottom of page 79, and I invite everybody to rise and join us.
Kenter David and I saw that preparing for last year, and both like, this is a really good one.
This one,
This is
yeah.
a really good one.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שהוא עשנו לשומרי האדמה, והוא שמנו לשליחי התורה, שהוא שם חיינו איתם, וגורלנו עם כל העולם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו, ושמו, ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. Love knows no shame. To be loving is to be open to grief. to be touched by sorrow, even sorrow that is unending. The way we grieve is informed by whether we know love. Since loving lets us let go of so much fear, it also guides our grief. When we lose someone we love, we can grieve without shame. Given that commitment is an important aspect of love, we who love know we must sustain ties in life and death. Our mourning, our letting ourselves grieve over the loss of loved ones, is an expression of our commitment, a form of communication and communion. Knowing this and processing the courage to claim our grief as an expression of love's passion does not make the process simple in a culture that would deny us the emotional alchemy of grief. Much of our cultural suspicion of intense grief is rooted in the fear that the unleashing of such passion will overtake us and keep us from life. However, that fear is usually misguided. In its deepest sense, grief is a burning of the heart, an intense heat that gives us solace and release. When we deny the full expression of our grief, it lays like a weight on our hearts, causing emotional pain and physical ailment. Grief is most often unrelenting when individuals are not reconciled to the reality of loss. Love invites us to grieve for the dead as a ritual of mourning and as celebration. As we speak our hearts in mourning, we share our intimate knowledge of the dead, of who they were and how they lived. We honor their presence by naming the legacies they leave us. We need not contain grief when we use it as a means to intensify our love for the dead and dying, or for those who remain alive. This week, as a community, we are remembering the most recent loss of Morton Lipman, of Hans Well, of Rabbi Arlene Schuster, and of Patrick Dubois Post. We are also remembering the yahrzeit of Selma Carson, Henry Gerstmann, Cecilia Darakovsky, Kyoko Ota, Julia Wasserteil, Johnny Hyde, Erwin M. Jaffa, Dr. Ronald E. Rosenthal, Lester Joseph Asher, Benjamin Dwoskin, Charlotte Gilman, Stanley Gilman, and Susan Hakkinen McDaniel. If I have mispronounced names or there are names you want to add, I invite you to do so now. We find the words of Warner's Kaddish on, thank you, page 86, and rise in solidarity with the mourners to recite Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shmei Rabbah, Be'alma divrach hirtei v'yamlich malchutei, B'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam ulmei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitrumam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yithaleh v'yithalal Shmei dekudusha b'richu, la'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma v'imru Amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru Amen. May their memories be for a blessing forever. You may be seated. And we are going to close with Ani Ve'ata, I believe.
Indeed.
Which isn't in the books. Sorry.
But it's not in the other books as well.
It's
so
true.
It's not like
it's not just not in this
it's not
book. It's
like
not in any of
Alula's to
them. This is
blame.
a pop quiz on
it's
whether or
in
not.
some books,
Sure.
but not
That's a good point.
not these books.
Just not these Sidurim.
Right. I could see it being in.
Next time.
Next
time
time.
CCR does a revision, we'll
Right.
we'll do a campaign for Ani Ve'ata.
Right. Well, they'll have a vote or something. It's a very special, hopeful,
Yeah.
a little bit sad, but mostly hopeful. It's That's what I like about it.
Yeah.
אני ואתה נשנה את העולם. אני ואתה, אז יבואו כבר כולם. אמרו את זה קודם לפניי, זה לא משנה. אני ואתה נשנה את העולם. אני ואתה ננסה מההתחלה. יהיה לנו רע, אין דבר, זה לא נורא. אמרו את זה קודם לפניי, זה לא משנה. אני ואתה נשנה את העולם. אני ואתה נשנה את העולם. אני ואתה, אז יבואו כבר כולם. אמרו את זה קודם לפניי, זה לא משנה.
לא משנה.
אני ואתה נשנה את העולם.
Emmett and Aaron, thank you both so much.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you, Andy, for running tech. We're going to do hamotzi, and then we have a really, really nice oneg that I would love for you to all join us for. Harmony, do you want to come help? Oh, nope, nope. Boring. All right. Lucy, do you want to come help? No? Also boring? All right. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'tehavon. We'll get to the end.
Thank you.
Shabbat shalom. Please join
Shabbat
us. Thank you all so
shalom.
much.
Yesh koach. Liz.
No, shoot.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff.